Hello viewers, welcome to Food Brothers Network. Yet another episode where I'm going to make you something very delicious. Today I'm going to be making you my favorite snacks, one of them at least, because I have so many favorite ones. And I'm going to be using banana and pineapple as the major ingredients. So I call it my banana pineapple puff or balls. Banana and pineapple puffs or balls. So here, like I said, my major ingredients are pineapple and banana. Sometimes we have bananas and they stay in there and become overripe, and we wonder what we can do with them. Sometimes we just toss them, or sometimes we use them to make other kinds of recipes. This is another recipe that you could make with your overripe bananas rather than tossing them. Of course, this is what bananas look like here. This is good enough for us to eat without like that. But once they are over ripened, then they become so soft. Here is one of my overripe bananas. This I had tossed into the freezer because I didn't want to waste them. So once I found out that they were overripe, I just tossed them into the freezer and I kept them until a time when I'll be able to use them. And here I have slices of pineapple which I had also frozen. And so for me to prepare this, I'm basically going to blend my bananas and my pineapple together. And I'm going to use another here, corn flour. You could use all-purpose flour, but what you need is flour that will rise. So rising flour is what you need, but I'm using corn flour. All-purpose flour is very good for this as well. I will use sugar. That's optional if you want to sweeten it some more, otherwise you don't have to. I'm going to use butter. You could interchange butter for margarine or any vegetable oil of your choice. And to add a little bit of flavor to it, I'm going to be using balsamic vinegar. It's also optional. If you don't want it, that's fine. And I will deep fry this in peanut oil. So to get that started, I'm going to peel my bananas, toss them into this food processor with my pineapple, and blend them. Okay guys, so my pineapple and my banana have been so nicely blended. Now I'm going to pour it into this bowl. So you want to make sure that they are so nicely blended together that it is so smooth, which is what I've done here. Okay viewers, so I have here my nicely blended pineapple and banana together. I'm going to add about a 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. Mix that nicely together. That vinegar gives it some kind of flavor. It's optional. You do not have to add that if you don't want like the taste of balsamic vinegar. And I have here melted butter. I use butter. Like I said, you could replace it with any other butter of your choice, or margarine or vegetable oil if you want. So here I have melted this 1 stick of butter, and 1 stick makes it about 8 tablespoons. I'm going to empty that in there. I like the flavor of this Irish butter so much. Now I'm going to mix that up using a wooden spoon to make it easy. I do have a mixer, but since I'm not making a whole lot, I'm just going to be mixing it up with my wooden spoon. But if you do have a mixer and you're making a whole lot, that makes it a lot easier for you to whisk this together nicely. When you melt your butter, make sure you allow it to cool to room temperature before you use it. Also, sugar is optional because it's already sweet. you have pineapple and bananas. Those are two sweet fruits. But I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Add a little bit more sweetening to it. So I have measured up 1 cup of my flour. Start with that. I'll add it little by little, mix it. All I want is for it to harden up a little bit so that I'll be able to make balls out of this. Stir in the flour nicely. Okay, girl. So I have nicely mixed in my flour with all my blended pineapple and bananas alongside with my butter and vinegar. Now I'm going to cover this up with plastic paper, or plastic rather than plastic paper. It's a seal wrap, so I covered that up, and I'm going to allow it sit down here for about, sit on the table rather, for about 20 minutes before I proceed with making my balls. Viewers, it's been 20 minutes since I had mixed my ingredients and left it here. So now I'm going to pour it into my board, and then you can see here what I did. I'm just using a chopping board. I covered it up with parchment paper just to make sure that I can control the mess that I make. You don't really need to cover that up. So I'm going to now sprinkle a little bit of flour on that and on my hand as well. I'm going to empty that onto that so that I can mix it thoroughly before making balls out of it. So mix that in very nicely, because whilst it was in the bowl I wasn't so sure if I had really mixed in everything. So now I can mix in everything. Just going to empty the remaining part of flour in here. So the amount of flour that you add depends on the quantity you make. I'm going to put a link to my quantity so that you see. And you also want to make sure that it is not too soft so that you can make balls out of this. I'm going to scoop this back into the bowl, and then we'll go closer to the stove so I will show you how I continue with this process to make sure that I make my nice banana and pineapple balls or puffs. Okay guys, so here it is. My ingredients are ready, and I'm going to just scoop this into, I have a pot of oil here. Allow the oil to warm up because heat up, because I'm actually going to deep fry it. So I have the quantity of oil that I need in relatively small size pot. That way I can deep fry it. And I'm going to scoop each of these medium heat and just put it there and allow it to fry. Make sure your oil is hot enough, that way you could really fry it, and fry it on medium heat to make sure it cooks through. Depending on the size of pot that you're using, scoop in, just put a few balls at a time. It's looking good already. Okay guys, so you can see my balls here, how they are. I'll make sure that both sides are cooked and they are brown or fried until they are brown. Otherwise the inside is not going to be well done while the outside will be all brown and you think that it's okay. So please put it on medium heat, not too high heat, and allow both sides to cook nicely or fry nicely until they are browned, and then you can take them out. So about 5 minutes for each of the portions that you add there, depending on how hot your stove is. But like I said, medium heat so that you can fry it nicely through. And then I'm going to use here a flat plate, and I have paper towel over it just to drain the grease. So once I bring it out, I put them on that, and it will drain out the grease and it won't be so greasy. And then once I take out this batch, I'm going to nicely also allow that oil to heat up a little bit more. Then I put the next batch. Okay guys, here are my banana and pineapple balls all made. Very delicious way to eat pineapple and banana. Next time you have those overripe bananas and pineapple, do not think of the trash. Think of how you can convert them into delicious balls. Hey guys, and if you do not want to fry this, you could also turn it into pudding. Simply reduce the quantity of flour by half and then mix it nicely, empty it into a greased pan, and toss it into your oven at 250 degrees Fahrenheit and bake it until it is browned. You could also dip your a spoon into the middle and see if it is a little bit hard. It's not going to be completely hard because it's pudding, but it comes out really delicious. This was one that I made. If you like this recipe, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you. Hey guys, this is my banana and pineapple cake straight from the oven. Looks really yummy. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe at Food Braggers Network and join the Food Braggers Network family and be one of the first to be notified once I have uploaded new videos. Thank you.